So in this video I won't be going into details about the sets that I'm running, the bonuses that I'm getting, the stats that I'm playing. If you'd like to see the stats and the sets that I'm running on this build, please check out the other video first. This one's going to just be purely focused on my gameplay, my PvP sort of DPS, my PvP burst rotation. It's really important to understand when to attack, when to defend, when to get that rotation, and just what that looks like from a PvE sense to a PvP sense. It's a lot trickier, you know, it's not fixed, you're solo, you're not in a group, you need to make decisions on impulse. A lot of the times I still make the wrong ones and I still die. It's not a build that will conquer everything, it's a build that's fun to play, fun to master, takes a lot of commitment, but I really enjoy it, and I hope you do too. So the first thing that we're going to talk about are the skills itself that I run on the StamSorc. We're going to start on the overload bar. In the past video I said that I didn't like to use the overload bar. In some of these clips I use it, and I use it effectively, and I think it's just about being clever. If we have a little look at the overload bar, the first thing that you need to be aware of is before you go into combat, if you've got a chance, get on the overload bar and apply your crit surge. The healing from this is absolutely amazing. If you look at the timer, it's lasting 30 seconds. If I miss a rally for a burst deal and that's not up, I'm still getting my increased weapon damage from it, and in an outnumbered fight it will really save you, it will do you so well. Dark deal as well, please be really clever when you're using this. Don't use it in open field, you'll get bashed, you'll get interrupted. It's just only to be used when you've got time in between fights that are staggered, when you're in line of sight. A little bit of evasion, I use streak to make sure I'm moving around to get out of the way. I don't rely on this, I am a stamina build, so I can run quite fast with a speed sprint, so it's just a second sort of resort that I like to use. And last but not least, trap beast. This can be put down really quickly, sort of you can cancel it and it's there with a block, instantly loaded, turn around. Really good to use on a sort of a choke when you're bringing the enemy in, or just to save yourself that bit of time to really burst down those magic users that tend to struggle with it. Next skill that I'm going to talk about is going to be poison inject. This is how I set up my burst play. For this video I won't have the other buffs on, sort of hurricane, shuffle. You want you to be able to see the animations as best as possible. I'll just rally up. So when it comes to opening on your target, you need to use the bow really effectively, and this is where it's tricky. You need to choose the target that you will burst down first. The buff from poison inject with the master's bow is only on target, so the weapon damage increase will only be on the target that has got the poison inject dot ticking. So you can't, if two people are coming up, you can't put it on this guy, then all of a sudden go on to the next guy and think that you're going to get that increase in weapon damage. It doesn't work like that. The way I like to load this up is load it up with an heavy attack. So we charge the heavy attack first. As soon as you're ready to let go of the heavy attack, weave in the poison inject and both shoot it at once. So we can see both hits there. I'll just do it again. 2 hits. 2 hits. So that's something you really need to master. In terms of the damage that you can do with this, it's really good. It can apply your poisons if you run those on the bow bar, which I prefer to run anyway, and obviously the poison inject dot is ticking. If you have got your crit surge up, if that's a crit, that will give you that healing. So it's all about getting the most opportunities you can with that healing. So most of the times that's how I would set up my burst. I would choose the target, try to stick on this target, wind up the heavy, cancel with the poison inject behind. Just show you that again. Heavy attack, poison inject coming in after. So once you have the poison inject dot ticking, if you're running poisons, which I do, the double dot poisons, those will be ticking nicely, you're ready to engage. So most people would close the target down just with a crit rush. If you can, you are better off winding up a heavy again into a crit rush. So it looks like this, the distance needs to be roughly about there, wind that heavy up, release into the crit rush, and both go off at the same time. So I'll just show that one again, get the distance about right. You can do it a little bit closer, wind up that heavy, let go, and both will hit. That is really a good way on how to maximise damage in terms of closing in on the target. So I just want to take a look at the screenshot at the debuffs we've got on the debuff tracker. On the opponent we can see the bleeds have procced, the double dot poisons have procced, the snare from Stampede has procced, and the poison inject has procced. So this is a really nice way to illustrate the damage that's coming in. We can see the orange dots ticking away underneath. A really nice way just to pressure that opponent from the onset and really set up your burst in a really good way. So yeah, I know I say crit rush, I call the moves just wrong moves all the time. The morph I use is Stampede. I think the snare is worth it in terms of the damage that I'm doing, especially because I'm not closing from afar anyway. I'm closing from a short distance to weave in that heavy attack with the crit rush. Once that's on, if we think about what we've put into the opponent, it's quite a lot of damage. You know, your poison hopefully will have procced, you've increased your weapon damage, your poison inject's ticking. The next thing that you want to hit, hopefully, is the bleed. If you get the bleed on the crit rush, on the Stampede or the heavy attack, that's double the chance to apply that bleed with the weapon damage ability. So all you have done is engaged and closed the target, and a lot of the time the health will be dropping. It will make your opponents think. Hopefully it will put them on the defensive so you can follow up with the rest of the burst. So in terms of what the burst engagement looks like, I'll just show you it all together. Make sure you've got all the buffs up. I will just put rally up for this purpose. So winding up the heavy attack on the bow, release with the poison inject, bar swap cancel, and then there you go, following up by the heavy attack, followed by the crit rush Stampede. So at this point you're obviously putting a lot of pressure on the opponent. It does depend just how tanky they are. You need to judge it, you need to get a feel for how sort of squishy they are, get a feel for the amount of health they've got. If you pick the right target, hopefully they will be backpedaling and you can finish off with the rest of the burst. In terms of the rest of the burst, you obviously will have crit rushed in to stampeded in, sorry, to just close that target down, to close the gap down. You then want to, depending on time, be winding up the dizzy swing, wrecking blow, dizzy swing, yeah, dizzy swing dispatch. So easy way to do that, do not just do it normally, it wastes so much time. There's some free DPS to be had in between, so you can do a light attack into the wrecking blow. You can also wind up an heavy over the top. So a couple of ways in there just to increase that extra damage. Once that has connected, obviously the target will be flying back if they've not got CC immunity. As soon as that's finished, you want to make sure you're closing in with the next crit rush. As soon as they have landed, you're closing in with the next crit rush, the next stampede, I'll never get this right. And then at that point, they're hopefully in execute range. If they are a tankier player, you may need to use the Dawnbreaker. Lovely, amazing first hit, amazing dot to keep that pressure on. From there on, all you would need to do is to utilise the execute. If it is a tanky player, and you're not bursting them down straight away, keep chipping away with that execute. Really important, because you're generating that ultimate back. That could be for the next opponent, or as a squidgy opponent, that could be an ulti that's needed to finish off the target that we're currently concentrating on. So I just want to take this opportunity now to talk about some animation cancelling you can do with the execute. It's really simple. The normal execute looks like this. You know, it's very long-winded. You've got all animations going off. You've got the movement with your character. You don't want to have that. That's wasting time. You're going to be losing lots of stamina just spamming like this. You want to make sure you're weaving with it and cancelling it. So an easy way to cancel on the finish is just to bar swap. So normal execute looks like that with all animations. The bar swap one just looks like that. So really quick. You can see the animation has to speed up. It has to be cancelled to get on to your next move that you're lining up. Really simple. I'll just do it again. Normal execute. Execute bar swap looks like that. If you get good, you can swap back. You can do it with poison inject. So you do execute bar swap, swap back like that. You can see both are on the opponent. Really effective way to get some extra burst, to get some extra damage. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to wind in the heavy attack or the light attack with the execute. This adds in a lot of extra damage. You want to be doing it when the opponent's CC'd and not broken. So after a Dawnbreaker, after a dizzy swing, really simple. They've not broken CC, you've got a bit of extra time just to connect that heavy attack first, to take the target lower. It looks like this. You just wind up the heavy attack and then release the execute after. So I'll just show that again. It did look quite fast before, quite a good one. So winding up that heavy, over the top it comes. So great in terms of the heavy attack hitting first, maybe your enchant goes off, the disease is on them. Really good for optimizing that damage. So yeah, another really simple, quick way to increase the speed that the animation goes through on the execute is to block cancel it. So the normal execute again looks like this. The block cancel, you would trigger the execute really quickly and then block just after the animation started. It looks a little bit different sometimes depending on how good you get it, so I'll just have a little go at this. So straight in with the execute and then the block straight away. So obviously then all you saw was the block, you didn't see the execute going over the top. If I do it a little bit slower, you can see the execute starts on that one. Just do it again. You can see the execute was cancelled there with the block ready to wind in our next attack. So I hope that was useful in terms of how to increase the scale, how to increase the damage that you're putting out when you're playing. And the next thing I just want to talk about is the ulti cancel. Dawnbreaker cancel is really simple. As soon as you've gone on with the ulti, go straight into a block or bash cancel it. Really speeds up the animation, gets you ready to carry on with your burst if needed. Maybe it's tank player, maybe you need to utilize the execute again and cancel that the way I showed you before. So really simple. All you've got to do is just make sure you're on with the bash as soon as it's finished. So winding in, and we can see block and cancelled straight away. So this is just a 2v1 clip where I utilize some of the things that I've talked about previously in this video. The execute animation cancel, followed up by the Dawnbreaker cancel right there. Okay, so hopefully that was really useful. The next thing we're going to do in the video is to break down a couple of raw and edited clips, and I'll give over the commentary of the decisions that I'm making, what I'm trying to do, and hopefully you'll see some real life sort of PvP solo open world application of the things that I've been talking about previously in terms of the animation cancels, how to just really tweak and improve that gameplay on this sort of build. In this clip I just took a resource, starting to get pressure from the opponents. I see a tank sort of 40k health guy come in, usual burst, notice he's not taking much damage, he's not giving much damage out at this time, so he's not really an issue. Change to the next target is a Sorc, bad Dawnbreaker there by my part. I see a third guy coming in, so I move, take line of sight, just pull away. Guards are helping at this moment in time. They pull back, try to break them off. The Sorc makes a move for it. Really pressure him just with the execute. You can see Jin and the ulti. The ulti is ready for the tank now. I make a mistake for not getting rally up, but I get the burst down anyway. It doesn't break enough. The dots are ticking, chipping away nicely, and it's done. Last opponent is a little bit unexperienced, is mainly targeting the guards, but take him out quite easy. Nice little clip. Okay, clip 2, just over Alessia Bridge, marked by a Nightblade. I've just previously downed this guy, I see level 18. Normally take him out, but I'm going for the tank. I know it could be annoying, he's low on resources. Just chip away using the execute. Always try to take the opponent's back. He does get me with a nice dizzy, so I'm conscious the Nightblade's still about. Moving, trying to reveal him, the Hurricane does. Just dodging those attacks, make that decision to take out the 18 first. Dawnbreaker does it. Doing that ulti again. A little bit panicking this time. I'm worried about snipes, but it's just the 265. Finish him off just with a nice execute bash. Okay, zoom in, there we go. Done. So nice and simple, nice and effective. Okay, on to clip 3. I stumble across two guys, open world, open field. Immediately got to dismount, got to break the CC, they're straight on me. Taking a bit of pressure, keep up the healing, CC pops up, take line of sight, use this as a choke to get the Dawny. Only get one guy, get the guy to the bottom left. In comes the other guy, there we go. PvP healer, everyone loves them, just making sure his friend survives, outnumbered, doesn't attack me, really annoying. That actually stops me from getting the burst on the second target. This clip goes a little bit wrong, they're not really pressuring me too much, I'm feeling fine until I lose Dawny due to a line of sight, but we carry on anyway, taking a bit of pressure, but we think we can get these guys. Third guy comes in, I'm in medium armor, I'm not going to be doing anything good in that situation, so I just take line of sight again around this tree, moving around, taking any opportunities to fight, but yeah, the crew's back. So we just heal up and make our way over, hugging the rock as much as possible, really cutting those corners, cutting those tight lines. Eventually these guys do follow. I don't get the kill, this clip's nothing special, but it just shows the need to survive. Okay, in this next clip I've just taken a resource. There's no way I can fight open field. I've got a lot of blues chasing me right now, so I'm just making my way back to the resource, hoping I can get a few to come either on the resource or in. Taking a bit of pressure right now. I can see that they've caught with me. Bad move here. Tread streak. Should have really blocked the Dawning, but Stam's good, Elf's good, Magic's good. CC pots up. I make my way up to the top, and really what I'm hoping here is that they come up one by one, staggered, give me a bit of chance to line up my DPS, line up my burst, trap beast from the overload bar. Not too happy with the position, so do that again, put that in a tight spot, and up comes the first target. Okay, so the target is a Stam DK, immediately try to take his back, do the usual burst after the poison inject, dizzy, executes. Doesn't quite pay off, but I'm not worrying at this moment. I'm still chipping away, just making sure I'm getting the movement. His second bar is sword and board. There's nothing he can really get me for at range. Reline up the burst again, don't quite get it off, reapply buffs, and just keep taking his back, jumping through him, blocking when I need to, taking his back's mine, execute, takes it. Okay, get my resources back, enter target 2. A bit of a tanky guy, doesn't really know what he's doing, sort of, he's waiting for his guys to come and DPS me down. He can just be an annoying tank, but not going to happen, just because of his health, because of the way he's built. I don't think I'm going to kill him, but he's not going to kill me either. He's had enough, not wasting my time on him, jog on sunshine. Up comes the next target. Next target appears to be a Stamina Warden, usual burst, crit rush, take the back, wrecking blow, into a few, executes, weaving, that takes the kill. Look to the right just to make sure I'm safe. The rest of the group, the Zerg, they've gone, they're happy with what they've achieved. Okay, in this next clip I'm just sort of stalking the links between the castles, sort of like to hang around there, hopefully get some groups coming over. Some 690s, can't really identify what they are at the moment in time. I know they're going for the siege, so I'm just checking my back, making sure we've not got any sort of the big Zergs coming in. Looking around, this looks like a really good opportunity to take these guys in this little corner here, so I'm not too sure as to where I'm coming. Usual burst, poison inject, crit rush, Templars with the jabs. It's really easy to dodge. Don't dodge roll, just jump through them. So jump opposite them, jump across just like I'm doing. Really bad execute with his Dawnbreaker there, and the execute takes it for me. Reassess the situation, another squishy target. The poison inject took a lot of his health there. He is damaging me quite a bit, but the execute's agenting my ulti. Lo and behold, perfect time to use my ulti. Use that to finish him, to pressure the Sorc. CC pops up, so I'm not worrying at this moment in time. And the Wrecking Blow takes it before the frag gets me. I'm aware that there is a Nightblade, yeah, there we are. The Nightblade's doing his thing. I remember stamina's really low, I get the CC pot. He should have just took me, but you can see the carnage, he's very much wanted to get the res. Go for the bash, really simple. This guy really doesn't want to fight, he's mainly concerned just with sort of resing his team, doing his job. Should really have a go, but I'm just positioning myself where I can see both, so I'm looking to the right. There's a double back on me. Looking to the left, I do see that he tries to get the res on the left. Very simple burst, crit rush, the dots are on him, the bleeds are on him. Execute, all is needed.